Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another classic film review. Today's classic film review is for the 1987 post-apocalyptic action film Steel Dawn, a film that is directed by Lance Houle and it stars Patrick Swayze, Lisa Naime, Anthony Zerbe, Christopher Neame and the legendary Brian James. Now this is a film that focuses on Patrick Swayze's character, who's simply called Nomad, who is a traveller in a post-apocalyptic world who, to avenge his mentor, who is killed, he decides to take up his duties, his mentor's duties, and he was like a protector, a marshal if you like, and he was designated to go and help out this settlement, and this settlement is being tormented by the local warlord Damil, played by Anthony Zerbe. So Patrick Swayze decides to go and follow up and do what his mentor was supposed to do. When he gets there, he meets Kasha, who is running a farm, and he realises that the locals need his help in order to fight off this vicious warlord. Right, so what are my thoughts on Steel Dawn? Well, this is one of those Patrick Swayze anomalies in his filmography that it doesn't seem to fit. Especially when you consider that this was made in 1987, the same year he did Dirty Dancing, very soon after he did Roadhouse, and then very soon after that Ghost, Point Break, all them sort of things. He's very close. He was so close to making it big before he made this film. I'm not sure he would have made this film after Dirty Dancing. Or, you know, certainly after Roadhouse and things like that, but it sits in his filmography. Now that's not to say that this is a bad film. I don't think it is. I actually think it's a real hidden gem, this film. I used to watch this countless times when I was young, when I had it on VHS. I used to love it. I thought the action was great in this. I thought the setting was great. Post-apocalyptic films were very, very popular. It's certainly in the 80s. You had all the Mad Maxes and things, so they were very fashionable in those days. And I think this is one that does kind of stand out. It's one that not a lot of people talk about. Yes, it's cheesy as hell, and it was a mammoth flop when it came out. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad film. It's actually a very, very fun and entertaining film. There's so many things in this that do make it enjoyable to watch. I do think the action is well put together. The choreography is pretty decent. There's lots of sword fights going on in it. That's the main choice of weapon here in this film. The acting for the most part is pretty decent, and you may or you may not know that Lisa Naime, who plays Kasha in the film, who essentially ends up being like the romantic interest for Patrick Swayze's character, they were actually married in real life, and they were together right up to Patrick Swayze's death. Another nice little nugget in this film is Brian James plays Tark in this film. Now Brian James, for the majority of his career, basically played bad guys, and he played them really, really well. But he actually plays against type here, and he plays a good guy in this film. He plays like the protector of the farm, who initially does not warm to Patrick Swayze's character. He sees him as a threat, but as the film goes on, he realises he's not a threat at all. So it was really, really nice to see Brian James playing against type in this film. There are Anthony Zerbe plays a typical pantomime baddie in this film, and the main nemesis here, I think, is what lets this film down. And you get Christopher Neame playing Shaw, who is like this really, really skilled fighter that killed Patrick Swayze's mentor, and you can see him on screen right now. On that picture, he kills Patrick Swayze's mentor. He's the main nemesis, he's the most skilled fighter in the film, and you really look forward to the showdown between him and Patrick Swayze, and it's a bit of a letdown. But not only that, Just look at that wig. That can't be his real hair. It just looks terrible. It really, really stands out. There's some really bad hairdos or bad wigs in this film that really, really don't work, and it does make it a little bit of a chuckle fest at time in regard to some of the choices they make in those areas. But it's a good film. It's fun. It's atmospheric. It's decent set design going on. It's what you expect from a post-apocalyptic world. Now, if you're going to go into this and hope you're going to get like the car chases and car battles that you get in things like Mad Max, you're going to be bitterly disappointed. There is none of that in this film. The only vehicles they have in this film are these ridiculous kind of like ground gliders, is the best way I can describe them. The kind of like vehicles that move along with the wind, and they're really underwhelming. I've got to say, they don't work in this film in any way, shape or form. So that side of it really doesn't work. I mean, there's a few aspects of this film that don't work, and that's one of them. The cheesy dialogue doesn't work necessarily. It's not particularly Oscar bait in regards to how it's written, but it's a cheesy 80s action film. You don't really watch that sort of thing and think, oh, that was good writing, that was good dialogue, that was really enjoyable. You watch this for the action, and films like this in the 80s, if they delivered on that side of it, they just tended to be memorable, and I think this is memorable for that side of it. Patrick Swayze plays like the silent wanderer, you know what I mean, that you see countless times in movies like this, and he plays those roles really, really well, I think, Patrick Swayze. So for nostalgia reasons, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. I mean, in regards to the technical side of it, it would score far, far lower than that, and it's not dated particularly well. But it's a really entertaining and fun film. It's one that I think many people would think about when they look at Patrick Swayze's filmography. But it's good action, there's some good chemistry between some of the cast, and it's a fun film, so what more do you want from a film like this? So that is my classic film review for Steel Dawn. So, hidden Patrick Swayze gem. Check it out if you get the opportunity. Thank you very much for watching, and of course I'll see you back for more reviews on Screen Stars very, very soon.